welcome back to the Stanley Parable with Roma.
Hello.
5 endings remain. So, Roma, we have a few options for you. Let's see, we can go through, we could do the powerful ending, we could do the museum ending, what else? Frick, where's the other ones? I know there's 5. Oh yeah, or we could do the escape pod ending, or the countdown ending.
Wait, didn't we already do the escape ending? Wasn't that the one where we left?
No, the escape pod ending is different.
Oh. Is that the true ending?
No. I told you I was omitting the true ending.
Ah, okay. So do we have 6 then?
Well, we would if I remember to input the ability to put in cheat codes, because then we'd have the serious ending.
Gotcha.
Okay, so which one you want? We got, once again, the options are, museum, escape pod, powerful, and, what was that last one? I guess that's it. Museum powerful, museum ending? Okay.
Yeah.
To get to the museum ending, you remember when I asked you if you wanted to escape?
What could it mean?
Uh-huh.
Stanley decided
That's where we have to go.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Am I recording sound? Yes, I am. Okay, good.
Good idea to check.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna do things
Stanley
like
came
normal.
to a
We
set
come
of
through
2
here.
open doors. He entered the door on his left.
But when we get to the mind control facility, we're going to escape instead.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Is everything streaming okay for you?
Yep, it is.
Good.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age music.
Thank God this isn't copyrighted.
Right?
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Narrator doesn't like it if you skip ahead.
Oh, I noticed.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Or will it?
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that
I know where
read
we're going
Mind
now.
Control Facility.
Right here where it says escape, this is the way to the museum ending. Let's go!
You'd think that would be the
This
escape pod
passageway
ending.
had the word escape written on it. The truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Violent death awaits, Roma.
Huh. Suicidal now, aren't we?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Quite frankly, we were suicidal in the Zending.
All right.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
He's not talking to us anymore.
Red
Leaping?
light. Ominous glow.
Mm-hmm. No way else out, so leap into the darkness.
Well, judging how fast we were falling, we're probably going to take some damage.
Well, we landed in something, though.
Or not. That was weird.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Hope you're not
Stanley
afraid
can't
of
see the bigger picture.
small spaces.
He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Well, we're going to die.
Or are we?
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was
What?
led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Looks like we've been saved.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Welcome to the Stanley Parable
Every
Museum.
path you can walk has
I
been
like it.
created for you long in advance. Death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Check it out. Literally every asset is here. Office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the two doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development through core layout, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. The set of two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room possessed, or posed, or whatever. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get right. The corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches two doors in a good time. Here's Stanley's computer, the only computer that displays that screen.
Can you press any buttons on it?
It sounds like I'm typing, but it's really not doing anything. Also, here's
My
every...
disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Well, how about these nature paintings, though? These are all the paintings used in the game.
Ah. I'm just gonna be one of those regular museum tourists. Ooh. Ah.
I expect at least some modicum of interest whenever I actually talk about something in the game. You can do it all on stuff like filing cabinets.
Ooh.
Or office computers.
Oh. I'm just gonna get more and more obnoxious with this.
Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. The office doors.
You know what'd be hilarious?
What?
If you were able to essentially put a sound effect, but each one is like your own random sound effect once the video is going to be edited.
Okay, I'll start off by doing the real thing, and then here I'm gonna add sounds. That was fun. Now, do you want to go left or right?
Decisions. Let's go right.
Right is right. Okay. Here's the boss's office and its each of its designs. The middle one is the current one.
Huh. Looks very ominous.
But where?
I mean, office compared to the originals.
This one's the office.
Yeah. No, I'm saying the center one looks the most ominous compared to the other ones.
Oh, I see. Anyway, up here we have... What's this? Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game through roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
Stanley pushed the big red button.
Do we sit in the chair, or...
I can't sit in the chair.
Uh,
And finally, he pushed the number 9.
These are very hard to hear. I couldn't... Okay.
yeah, I couldn't hear them either.
Employee Lounge. Minecraft Underground, an early version of the Underground portion of the game.
Oh, right. Ooh!
I was wondering. There's the office clock, the only clock in the game. The Freedom Ending. This was the very first incarnation of the Freedom Ending in the game's alpha.
Huh.
I have no idea what that was. Countdown Desk. One of the desks from an early version of the Countdown Ending. Freedom Ending. This is the Freedom Ending as it existed in beta. Monitor room elevator. For a time, the elevator in the monitor room could go up or down, with freedom above and countdown below. We abandoned this when players found it too difficult to remember what was up and what was down, and placed the 2 endings together instead. Countdown room. An early version of the countdown room. Ooh, here's something interesting. Zending model. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending, and we thought was complete but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. Interesting. Zending levers. These levers were originally part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color lever they had pulled, being red, blue, or green.
Huh.
And this is the original Zending. Remember, the Zending was the swirling colors. The screenshot... Yeah. The screenshot depicts an early version of the ending known as the Zending, which was eventually cut and merged with another part of the game. What's down here? This is the area for the trailers. Which, of course, it's broken. The meeting room stuff. Maintenance layout. A few of the hallways following the first 2 doors was important to get right, since players will replay them so many times. We discussed a number of designs, but ultimately it was the simplest version that won out. Well then.
I wonder, are they going to show us like the differences where it automatically changes? So you mentioned that the map would occasionally change up on itself. I wonder if they would show different versions of that.
I wish. I wish. I don't know. I mean, it could, but I don't think anyone's played it long enough to do so.
Fair enough.
The cargo lift. The cargo lift was always intended to offer the choice of staying on or jumping to a different path. However, after this early version, we decided we also wanted the option of the player falling to their death.
I don't know. Did we do that yet?
Nope, that's one of the ones we're doing today. This second version is functionally the same as what's in the final game, but we wanted to look more like a place where cargo was actually stored. I can see that.
Gotcha.
The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, which we saw, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. More office crap. What's up here? Ah, look! Versions of Stanley's office. That one's certainly the most minimalistic.
They all look identical, or close to.
From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first one was created in November 2011, the second one March 2012, and the third in February 2013. This is the final version. Hello. Game design mockup. This is the lever that This is the level that William, the level designer, sent Davey, the writer, as a kind of audition piece. The strength of this level got William hired to design the full game. Though much of the environment has changed, the basic layout of this mockup is still in the game. Yeah, I can see that. Ah, we've been there already. That's the elevator. From... Well, okay, what's this? Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these in further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here's a selection of those emails. Holy crap. The day.
At first I thought at the bottom it said "you're wrong."
Did we go in here yet? Yeah, that's the phone. Here's a bunch of the oh yeah, Greenlight. In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD Remix. The point of Stanley Parable HD Remix is to win. The point of the Stanley Parable HD Remix is to lose. More endings, fewer endings, more narrators, fewer narrators, more Stanley, less Stanley. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? And then that's just a bunch of text.
Words.
Oh, Warzone. And the only part of the Warzone that you can walk on still. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, people interpreted it as a making fun of people who like shooters, which is not our intention. Oh, there's Tron.
I would have loved to see that.
Me too. I would have loved to fight the narrator in a Tron battle. That looks awesome. Well, here's the copier. Maintenance room, an early version of the maintenance room. That's where we go down for the confusion ending.
Uh-huh.
And now we're back here, so there is a way out. I just gotta find it. We've seen everything now, that's... I think. Yep, we've seen everything. I just had to find the exit. Ah, here it is.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Huh. Press off?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But
Well, that was
listen to me.
interesting.
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and be the only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
Goodbye, GLaDOS. And now I actually have to begin the game again, because we can't... It doesn't do it for us there.
I think this would be a perfect ending for the first episode, because it was long.
Well, actually, I have a... Yeah, okay. So thank y'all for watching this episode of the Stanley Parable. If you liked it, leave me a like. If you're new around here, subscribe. Roma and I will see you next time.
Bye.